Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Brianna Baker. I'm an educator, a business owner, and your all around encourager. And I am here back with our series, What Led You Here? And I have a special guest. It is my friend, my sister, Kimery Cartwright. And we are going to have a great discussion today about what led her to this point, this moment. And if you don't know her or just getting to know her for the first time, as you listen to the video today, you will be encouraged and inspired by her yes. And how many of us know that our yes unlocks some things for our future, some doors that God has been wanting us to get through, but we have to actually sacrifice, lay down, and give Him our yes. But I'm not going to go into that just yet. We're going to go ahead and go into an icebreaker. So, the icebreaker is if you could describe your season of life right now as a gospel song title, what would it be?
This is going to be, a lot of people may not understand what I'm about to say, but I'll break it down. I am in my season of wow. I'm in
Mm.
a season of wow. What do you mean by that? I'm in a season of shock. Like God is shocking me. Everything is a wow. It's kind of like, even going through, certain things in life, whether good and or bad, every time I turn my head, it's a wow factor. God is just giving me my season of wow. It's not like, oh, I didn't think He could do it.
Uh-huh.
It's like
Uh-huh.
it's happening. Like, you
Yeah.
believe God, you know how you be like, God, I need you to do such and such. But then when He do it, you be like, hey, thank you, Jesus. You know,
Right. Right.
so I'm
Yes.
in a season of wow because, we all walk around and we have dreams, we have goals, and in our mind it's gonna take us 10 years or 6 years and
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden God steps in and
Yeah.
suddenly,
Okay.
say I'm in my season of wow/suddenly.
I love it. See, when songs got a slash, you already know that part one, part two about to hit you.
Every time, every time. That rephrase, huh?
Yes,
Every time.
every time. You know what? And because you said that, I'm gonna say that my song title is Every Time.
Okay.
Every time I look,
Mm-hmm.
there he is.
Listen, listen, cause he be there,
He's right there.
omnipresent.
Every
Listen,
time. When I didn't think there was a time, it's
right.
truly every time.
Every
If it's a low time, if it's a high time, if it's a sad time, if it's every time
there,
he's there.
and I
Go
love
ahead, Kim. I think that's about to be on the next one. Every time and my season of what
it. Hold on, wait a minute. No book. My, good God Almighty.
we got to be like Dora the Explorer. Backpack. Where you at? Notebook.
Why you put? I got her.
Right.
Listen, I'm not write that down for real, but yeah, I'm definitely in my season. I'm definitely in my season a while, because I'm doing things that I've always spoke of, and
Mm-hmm.
things are happening that was always spoken into me. I
Yeah.
just did not know it was going to happen the way it happened and
The
how.
way it happened. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
powerful, man. If you guys go ahead right now in the comments, if you could create a gospel title song for the season that you're in, drop it in the comments right now because we want to know. We want to know. Okay. So, as I shared with you guys when we first started the video, this topic today is about her yes shifted everything. And so I want people to get to know Kim a little bit more. So, what is the story behind Kim? Who is Kimery Cartwright?
Kimery Cartwright is somebody who I don't want to say was lost, but didn't know exactly what she wanted at life.
Mm-hmm.
She's somebody who did not know what she wanted in life. She wanted to be into this. Like growing up, I wanted to be a fashion designer. Growing up, I wanted to cook. I wanted to be over here. But one thing that always remained and never left me was I was always a PK. And anything
Mm-hmm.
dealing with music, I was there. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am big on anything music, anything artistry, and I'm big on friendship and family. That is Kim, literally. If any of my friends know me, I am a huge protector. Okay?
Yes.
Rihanna knows this.
Yes. She was a mama bear before mama bear status.
Literally, I'm big on it, and that has not changed. That has not changed. It can be sometimes it can be a blessing and a curse, but I'm grateful for it because it's taught me a lot of things, even in my growing
Yeah.
and even in my ministry today. So yeah,
That's Kim. And I mean, I could tell other stories
you
about
can.
how Kim helped, me and my husband, how we met. And, me and Kim go way back like a Cadillac. So, but
Literally.
we are here to talk about how God led her to this career point. And so, as you share, you've always been about the music, always been about family. And
Mhm.
so, in that walk, right? For we
Yeah.
walk by faith and not by sight. The Bible reminds us of that. And so, in that, how did it shift to today? Like, what did saying yes to God really look like for Kim? Like, what did you have to go through to get to, okay, God, here's my yes?
This gonna help somebody.
Yeah.
What my yes look like? Now I don't want to fret you, but my yes looked like many nights of tears. It looked like loneliness. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like pain. And I'm being bluntly honest because I believe in ministry and in this thing we do called gospel or Christianity or whatever you want to classify it as. A lot of times we hide that part of where God does take us into those seasons of loneliness, of pain, and all those things. But in that season, He grows us and strengthens us like never before. So my yes looked like pain. My yes felt like pain. My yes was very lonely. My yes was very unsure.
Mm.
But that yes taught me a lot. That yes gave God the moments that He needed with me individually to basically sit me down and say, hey, listen, you ain't get together.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know what your calling is. You know what your purpose is. I done let you go around here and do what you doing for way too long. Sit down somewhere and learn how to be by yourself. Learn to be
Mm-hmm.
with self first before going out and looking for everybody else's opinions or worried about how people may look at you or whatever. This ain't even about them because when you get to them gates,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to ask about nobody else but self. Learn to grow in self. Learn to be
Mm-hmm.
self. Learn self first. So yeah,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, learn self first. And
learn
I
self.
think that's the thing when we walk with Christ, it's
Yeah,
a selfless walk. And
yeah,
so in learning him, we learn self. And that yes, you got to break some stuff.
a whole lot.
So those tears came from the breaking.
Yeah,
Those tears came from the shaking. Those
yeah.
tears
Some things.
literally molded you.
Yeah. If you listen to that song, and I don't think a lot of people actually listen to the words of certain artists' songs. I
Mhm.
listen to Kiera Shear and her songs. It's something has to break. I feel it in his rooms. Something has to move. In that moment, if a lot of people don't know her story, she was pregnant in her tubes at one time. She was dealing with
Mm,
a lot of things that were messing with her health and her mental, and a lot of people didn't even know.
right. Right.
And she said in her room, all right, Lord, something has to break. But that was her moment being with God by herself because it was things
Yes.
that was going on with her body and things going on in her head that her husband could not help her with. Her mama could not help her with. Her daddy
Talk.
could not help her with. Even though she's this big artist and even though she's over here and over there, mentally and physically, God is dealing with herself. And he's saying, okay, yes, I'm taking you through this because I need you to see something. Because after I take you through this, watch what it come out with. Huh?
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 Okay.
Because they thought you weren't going to have that seed. But then in that moment of loneliness, in that pain moment, you came and you burst a miracle.
Woo! Jesus.
Something has to break. I'm not preaching.
Something has to break. Something has to break. And see, that's the thing. The yes had to break.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
yes had to break. The chains had to break. That, like you said in the beginning, you were like, "Hey, God, I'm interested in A. I'm interested in B.
Yeah.
I'm interested in C." And God is like, "I really called you to Z.
Right.
I
Right.
you went through all 26,
And I let you.
and I let you. Right?
I let you.
I let you. You could have skipped.
Okay. What kind of God do you say? Because he let you. He
He let you.
allowed us to have these choices, basically.
Right?
You know, he literally, I told this to somebody the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Serving God is a choice.
Come on. Come on.
It really is a choice. Okay? That's
Yeah.
why who ye should serve this day, who you gonna serve this day. You literally have a choice. But God is the God of everything. He's the King of Kings. If he wants you, he can get you.
Hey. All right.
I'll be wanting people to understand if God really want you, he can get you. But he
Yes.
literally given us free
Free
will.
will.
He's given
Yeah.
us free will. He
Mm-hmm.
got to.
He
He
can cut it
started the
off.
world. Listen, he started the world over for us. He allowed his son to die for us to
Yep.
allow us to do the minor thing. I be telling people, and I ain't trying to get deep, but the little things that we do now,
Yes.
if we did it in the Old Testament, half of us be dead. And I'm be honest.
Come on.
Back
Tell
in
it.
the day, piercings,
Yes.
tattoos, all that stuff meant you were cursed. Part, you're unclean.
Come on. Come on.
I mean, can we really be honest
Yeah.
with
There
a lot
was
of
a
stuff?
time where this was not right. Let's just say it plain. It
Right.
wasn't right. It wasn't by the book. It didn't follow the rules.
Lipstick, lip gloss, matte, makeup, all of that. Just everything. Absolutely just not absolutely wrong. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I go back to the song That's Love. Jesus went to Calvary.
Mm-hmm.
Like you and me, that's love. He loved us that much.
That's right.
Not only sent his only begotten son to die for us because he knew we was gonna mess up,
Yeah.
but he
Mm-hmm.
also loved us enough to give us a choice.
Yes. God
Power.
knows.
That's
Yes.
some power.
Woo! I tell you, in that you give God your yes, you are in your moment of, like you said, loneliness. Just get into that place with Him, that secret place. Even Jesus had to get to his secret place. He couldn't keep talking to the disciples. He had to go away before it was time to go to the cross to get his strength, because God's strength is made perfect in our weakness. And so, in your journey, it led you to the song "Cover Us."
It did.
Cover us. Can you break that down for us? What was going on? Like you said with Kiara Shear, she was in her, as I like to call it, Garden of Gethsemane. She was in that moment of like, Jesus, do I really got to go through this? So,
Listen.
what was your moment that led to Cover Us?
Now, I didn't let this. As a matter of fact, I don't think I spoke about this in any interview yet. So this might help somebody. There's this thing that we say and we call church hurt.
Mm,
Okay. That can mean a lot of things in a lot of different ways. And I was in that season. Do I blame the church? Nope. Do I blame the people in the church? Nope.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm bold enough, I've grown enough to be able to say that because there was a time I was bitter.
Right. I understand.
In
Yep.
the season of me writing Cover Us, I was very bitter. I was bitter with the church, everybody in there. Uh-uh.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yes. You ain't safe for real. Uh,
Right. Right.
but I had to realize, like, oh my God, God, again, in that season of loneliness, it
Mm-hmm.
took me. So I had been playing with Cover Us for a few years because me writing, I'm an artist and stuff, and I was playing with the words all around or whatever. But in that season, because technically it took me about 4 years to write Cover Us, but he literally had to take me through something in those years.
Right. 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 Right.
Took me through, woo! He took me to a time, and I was in church, um, and I felt bad. I felt betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
I had done some wrong things, vice versa. I talked about, they talked about. I
Mm-hmm.
did, they did. But at that time, I'll use it this way. I was a spiritual baby. I was
Mm,
a baby in the spirit. So a lot of things I looked at differently and could not understand,
right.
which caused me to be bitter.
Got you.
While
Right.
in my bitterness, I shut myself out. I ain't gonna talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna go to church. No, I don't want to talk to your pastor. And I doggone sure don't want to sing for him. And I'm saying this because I'm being very, very honest. A lot of people in this industry and or gospel or Christian, they don't talk about it, but it's good to talk about it because you actually could be helping somebody.
That's
And,
right. That's right.
and I say this because in my bitter season, I kind of shunned myself. But not only that, in that moment of bitterness and me sitting out and stuff like that, I didn't know how much God was covering me in my bitterness.
Come on, Kim.
He covered me so good because if he didn't and his hands was off of me, I could have easily went to one of these churches and just been singing out here and fussing you out and fussing you out and still and got deeper and got darker.
Yeah.
Or I
Right.
wouldn't be able to come out.
Yeah.
But God allowed me to almost kind of like soak in my bitterness to get me to think.
Mm.
He literally had me to replay things in my head over and over again, like, was that me? Or was that them? Or could I have done that differently? Literally had me asking all these questions. And I'm just like, what in the world? So one night, I literally was sitting, I cried like a baby. And
Mm.
you know, I cried, I cried, I cried. I was in a season of depression. I was going through it. And I literally remember saying, God, please cover me. Already knowing that he had his hands on me the entire time.
Yeah.
And even in the lyrics, I start off by saying, Jesus, we are calling you, because that's exactly what I did in that moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I literally said, I've made all these mistakes, been back and forth trusting you. And that right there, a lot of people are like, why do you say been back and forth trusting you? Because it's so many times that things happen in our lives in the season, we don't understand it. And growing up, they say, don't you question God and don't you do, but
Right.
we but
Yes.
we do.
Yes.
But we do. If
Yeah.
you lose, and I love to use this example because it resonates with a lot of people. If you lose somebody real close to you, real close, like your mom or your grandma that raised you, and they pass, a lot of us, I have done it before,
Mm-hmm.
ask the question, why? Why would you
Uh-huh.
take this special someone from, why would you do that?
Why, Lord? Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it hurts so bad. Why would you allow this to happen to me?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like a still voice, why not?
Ooh.
Literally, why not? If
Mm-mm-mm.
you trust me like you say you do.
Yep.
If you believe me to be the King of Kings, like you say you do, like
Uh
you say,
huh. Yes.
if you believe for me to be all these things, the creator, and uh, why don't you think I would take care of not only you, but this loved one?
Yep.
How you know this loved one can be with me?
And not
Like,
suffering. Mm-hmm.
and even my grandma used to say, when it's my time, let me go because I don't want to suffer. I never understood. I used to be like, girl, hush. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere at all. You too crazy to go. You know what I'm saying? But even if you listen to the old folks, a lot of them speak that way, and a lot
Mm-hmm.
understand it. But I understand it now.
Yeah.
Because even in my depression, I have two children. I
Mm-hmm.
they were young. They were young. And then, going through postpartum depression, women, it's real. It
Yep.
is very real. And again, if he had not covered me, I could have been suicidal.
Come on, Kim.
I could have been suicidal. If he
Mm-hmm.
did not have his hands on Kimery Cartwright, I would have been very, very much suicidal. Did I ever think about it? I have. I'm not gonna lie, I have. Because I
Mm-hmm.
really wanted to know, Lord, I've been in church, Lord, all my life. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of us out here like that. I
Come
done been
on.
in church all my life, Lord. I done tried to do right. Why would you? Why? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why? So I'm literally sitting here saying, okay, God, I literally surrender. Just whatever you do, don't take your hand off me. Cover me. Continue.
Yes.
Not cover because you already covering me. I know you covering me because I'm supposed
Yes.
to be gone. But continue to
Continue.
cover me
Yes.
even in my wrongdoing, even in my second guessing, even in my back and forth. You tell me go left, I go right. Please continue to cover me. You know I'm crazy. And I'm just being honest,
Yeah, see, and you're a mom, so you know the way you treat child A is going to be different from child B, but you love them just the same. So God got to come to us in our stuff, in our predicaments, and correct and care at the same time.
That song Cover Us is for anybody out there who
Yes.
that, you know what I'm saying? Oh, God just left me. He ain't left you because if he did, you would have probably been gone a long time ago. And it's a saying, he'll never put too much on you can bear. Baby, you can do good. You can do better. I promise you can. You got to take it every day. You got to get yourself together because I got some place to go.
And I'm
And I'm praying
praying.
when you get there.
I
I'm
see everyone I know. I want to go. I want to go there. I want to go there. And you know, in your song covers, I tell you, I listened to it before we even started our conversation. It's just it is my song. I'm telling
listen,
you.
listen.
Especially when you got to the end and you just began to say, cover my husband, cover my children, cover us, cover us. Like you just kept in that vein. You were just in that vein just to declare that over everybody.
Everybody,
Hey,
literally, everybody. And they asked me, Kim, well, why is this? Because it's not, there wasn't the song wasn't even just a cry out for me. It was cry out for us. Because in this era, it's, you don't know.
mm-mm.
You really don't know. And you know what's crazy? You asked in the beginning, what era, what season am I in?
Yes.
The world, it seems like the world is also in the era of suddenly and wow. Because a lot of things that's going on that we are all like, what?
Wow.
If
And now we have this. And now, okay.
literally, you get what I'm saying? Like with how the election is going, with all the massacres and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
the climate, the changes
Mm-hmm.
in the
Yes.
weather, it's snowing in places that ain't snowed since 1800. What? What is
You
really
telling
going
it. Yes. He said in the last days now we wouldn't be able to decipher
on? And
the
baby,
seasons.
listen.
We wouldn't be able to decipher a few things. And see, that's the thing. We need God to cover us. And when you release the day that you release that song, I don't even know if you and your team caught that. But
Mm-hmm.
the day the song was released, we just had one of the biggest announcements from our current administration that changed the, like you just said, the dynamics. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
cover us,
The crazy
cover us, because
I
we don't know what's about to come from that little chain up there, God. So
dates. I didn't know I was gonna release it then. I had two release dates. That's so crazy.
what?
I had two release dates. Actually, so it was released on what, February 1st? It was supposed to be released what was it, January.
Oh,
The end of January. And we were sitting down and was like, what's going on? Something was going on. And we was like, okay, let's move it to the first. We're not thinking, but we just was like, okay. I'm saying it's no January, end of January 31st. Okay, okay. My daughter's birthday is January 29th.
Uh huh. Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, it's a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my daughter's birthday to be caught up in it. Let's move it. And I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't even realize that. I
Mm-mm-mm.
didn't even realize it.
Right.
And afterwards. But it was God ordained.
It
You
was
know,
God ordained. Exactly. That's
a
why I
lot
said, yeah.
of have told me the same. That's baby. First of all, I sold CDs. Okay, a lot of
Okay.
people, a lot of people don't even know it.
I didn't know that. So, look, like the kids say, T,
Yeah,
T.
I sold CDs because God told me to, and the reason why I started selling CDs, and if y'all need one, I still got some. But
Okay.
um, he said, "You." So what about the people who can't download? What
Mm-hmm.
about the people who don't know how to live stream? How are you gonna reach them?
Yeah.
I said, uh, it got so deep to the point where they was like, would you put it on their windowsill? I was like, I
Mm.
low key might.
Okay. Okay.
I didn't, but I did give it,
You gave it some thought. You gave it consideration.
no, I actually thought about doing it, and I still
Okay.
actually might. I sold all of them. I still got like a few more left. I can get them at any time, but the first batch I sold out immediately, like in 2 days.
Amen.
My first
Yes.
was 50. I sold out of those first 50, and I sold the second 50. And these churches started they
That's
started
right.
playing it in the church and stuff, and people didn't even realize. People, we use the radio and the USB and stuff so much, we don't realize that we got a CD player in the car. So
Got a CD player. Right.
one woman was like, "Do you know? I did not know my my car had a CD player." I
Look,
said,
that's God.
"Yeah,
Because, I mean, we're not. In today's time, you're not seeing a lot of people do CDs. You're just not. And so, that, for you to just hear that and take that consideration in,
yeah."
that unlocked even more ears to
I didn't
get
even.
that declaration.
That's a great thing. I didn't think they was gonna buy it because there's only one song up there.
That's
You
all
know,
they need. That's all they
but
need, though.
baby, I was like, it, when they when I saw the first, I was like, for real,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
because it wasn't even about me. I really think people really wanted. I think it was the title.
It was
I
the
really
title.
title in itself is like very like
Those
grasping.
two
Like,
words are just
uh,
cover us. Cover
yeah.
us. And so, what was a defining moment? Kind of take us back, because Cover Us is awesome, but there was a defining moment in your journey where you said, "Yeah, God, I see that you call me to sing." What, or just to have the ministry of singing, etc. What was that defining moment in your journey?
It's a funny story. I was in my dorm room. I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
Baby, I was doing it all. You hear me? I mean, I would get exploring. Yes, yeah, yeah. Sister Kim explored a little bit. Yes, it did.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and one night I heard his voice loud. It scared the living daylight out of me in the dorm room. First of all, anybody who go dorm room, you know what I'm saying, and go down the hallway, it could be a little, hey, you know,
Right. Yes.
you know, you don't want to. Wait a minute, you know,
Mhm.
and it kept saying, "Get up." I was like, get up, well, you know. Bro, I was tripping in my dorm room. I
Yeah.
had, I was in a band in college, so we traveled a lot. We got in late a lot. You know what I'm saying? If
Mhm.
anybody's go to an HBCU or been in an HBCU band, then you know.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
I'm talking
ma'am.
about late hours and stuff, parties, all of that, and I did all of that. Um, and it just was like, get up. And I'm trying to figure out, okay, I'm up, right? But what you want? And literally, how I was, like, what you want? I'm up. What is it? Somebody coming? What happened? And it was just a literal like, it's it's time.
Mm.
And I'm sitting in my dorm room like, it's time to what?
Yeah.
And
Hold
I'm
up. Clarify that. Time. Time.
listen, y'all want raw? This is raw for you. It's time. Yes, it is time to go to bed. That's what I would say. It's time. It is. I could not sleep at all. It
Mm.
scared the hell out of me. I woke up. I was in the gospel choir, and I went to gospel practice or whatever, and I weep, boy. And what is wrong with you, girl? I mean, I weep like I just lost everything. I weep so bad, and went
Mm.
back to my room. You know what I'm saying? I believe that whole week he was dealing with me. You know,
Yeah.
um, and I found out I was pregnant. That's when I found out I was pregnant. I found out I was pregnant when I was in college. And I remember I went to my professor, Yolanda Cornwall,
Mhm.
and I told her, and I said, hey, I'm not going to be able to sing. I was just in the university choir. She said, why you can't sing? First of all, I walked in shame. Again, all this stuff is going on in 1 week. I found out I was pregnant. He talking about get up. It's time. It's so much stuff going on. And so I told her, I said, well, probably not gonna be here that long because I'm pregnant. Do
Mm.
y'all know what my professor said?
What?
She said, is your throat pregnant?
What? What?
Bruh, I didn't know how to take her. Cause I was like, bruh, I would never forget it. I was like,
Right.
oh. She was like, is your throat pregnant?
Okay.
No, look, no, no. What? She's like, I'm saying, so you quitting because you bring in life? And I'm just staring at her, crying again.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Like, she's like, you can still. Who told you that you couldn't finish? Who told you that you couldn't sing
Mhm.
anymore? Who told you no? Did you tell you no?
Ooh,
And
that's good. That's good.
I was like, uh, well, I just assumed. She's like, see, and she's very wise. See, that's them assuming and assuming. She's like, you don't assume. Why would you assume those type of things over your life? She's like, and she's deep in history when it comes to musical. And so
Mhm.
she's like, when they was writing those, historical songs, do you think they was assuming? No, 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 no.
Mhm.
Could not run and escape on assuming.
Right.
She said
Yeah.
they had to stand on everything they believed in, had to be firm in it,
Mhm.
and wherever they knew, they had to make sure that that's that. They could not assume nothing. They could not second guess anything. She's like, because they would have never made it out.
That's right. That's
She
right.
said Martin Luther King didn't do a whole lot of assuming. He would have never been who he was if he assumed. She's like, how dare you stop you before you even got a chance to live? How dare you do that?
Wow.
That throat ain't pregnant. She was like, so I see you at practice. I see you at practice. So in that time, again, God's dealing with me in this week and everything like that. And me figuring out that I was called to do this was when I sang at graduation, the Shaw University's graduation or whatever, and somebody walked up to me and they said, now mind you, I'm singing like uh, old school spirituals and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
at graduation. And somebody said, your voice, you got a calling. And I'm just like, y'all got to chill. All week, it's too much going on. I'm pregnant. She told me I ain't pregnant in my throat. He talking about wake up. All this stuff is going on. And I'm like, what? Okay, got it. And then I go to church. I wasn't going to church like I was supposed to either.
Mm.
I was going to Abundant Life when I was in college. Shout out to Church of God of Christ. Amen.
Yes.
Um, But my aunt Sharon, she was like, Kim, you done running. Basically, God kept giving me signs and signs and signs and signs and signs and signs until I actually got it. And then I said yes to singing at a church like around the corner from my school. And the pay didn't matter no more.
Mm-hmm.
None of that stuff mattered. That's when I knew, okay, it's not just a calling, it's a ministry. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay. This this it. This where I belong. Because
Got
I
you.
placed in it.
Mm-hmm.
They'll judge if I had to, run away my safety was in ministry.
Amen.
And
Yes.
God gave me sign after sign while I was in college.
Lord
Li-
have mercy. He was literally flashing lights at you. And
I
see,
was
that's the
running.
thing.
I
You're
was running.
right. You were running, but you finally said yes. And that yes has unlocked everything. Before we go, I want to ask you to share with people some advice if they're struggling with accepting what God is saying for the call on their life.
Best advice. Mm, my best advice would be study to be quiet.
Mm,
God will speak. A lot of times we got our hands in everything. We moving so much. We can't hear him like we need to. Get in that car, turn that radio off. Ride. Get
mm,
in a still place. Get in a still place. Study to be quiet in all areas. At work. And I'm being honest, at work, learn how to dim the noise
mm.
in whatever situation. Learn how to do it regardless of what's going on. Learn how to find God's voice in darkness.
Ooh, Jesus.
Learn how to find God's voice in darkness. And I know a lot of people say, and yeah, that's easier said than done. But if you're quiet, a lot of things become loud.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
A lot of things. If you ever go somewhere, that's what that whole paranormal thing is. Because then when you're still and you can't see nothing, it's dark, everything becomes loud. But
Mm.
how are you willing to listen? How loud is God's voice in your life?
Woo!
Steady to be quiet.
Girl, girl. That hit me in my spirit. How loud is God's voice in your life? Lord have mercy. I tell you, Kimery Cartwright, if you guys do not have the song Cover Us, make sure that you go and stream it everywhere. But Kim, let everybody know before we go where they can follow you and stay connected.
You can follow me on Facebook at Kimery Cartwright, Kimery Cartwright, Cartwright. You can follow me on Instagram is linked. TikTok is LaJoy Sings. But if you type in Kimery Cartwright, you will also see me there as well. YouTube, you can also follow me at Kimery Cartwright. So everywhere is just about the same. Kimery Cartwright or LaJoy Sings. LaJoy Sings is LaJoiesings. And you can find me on all streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube. I'm on TikTok. You can find it on everywhere.
I tell you, y'all gotta allow God to cover you, cover us. This has been another episode on the channel. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you, Kim.
Thank you.
Jesus, we are calling.